begin?
Yes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Victor Kisley, the CEO of Wargaming.net, and I'm happy to welcome you to our second grind finals of Wargaming.net League. Thank you very much for coming. I also want to say big thank you to the city of Warsaw, which is hosting our biggest event for the second time. Last year, it was also this city. It was a fantastic, phenomenal grand finale of our Wargaming.net League season 2013-2014, and we loved it. This year, we hope, we know that it is going to be bigger. If you think about it, we have come as a company a long way. We have been making, for those of you who maybe did not hear about our company, we have been making games since 16, 17 years. And 5 years ago, we were only 100 people. Today, Wargaming is a global phenomenon. It's a transcontinental company with something around 4,000 people. And this is how fast you can develop in this really exciting world of game development and game publishing industry. The games which we developed before World of Tanks, we were experimenting with different types of distribution methods. How do you bring your game to your players? We were doing retail boxes, we were doing digital download, we were doing subscription model, but only with World of Tanks, we found this sweet spot which is called free to play. So yes, World of Tanks, when it was released in 2010, we made it free to play. At that time, in the West, it was not very popular. Let's face it. Mostly this monetization model was used in Asia, in China, in Korea. And I'm very proud to say, I think I can say so, that Wargaming, along with Riot Games and some few other companies, we worked hard to introduce this free-to-play model to the Western world. And it worked out. Free is good, we all know this. So if 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the concept of free-to-play was like, this is free means low quality. But what happened is that Wargaming and those companies which I mentioned, we were investing heavily in the quality. We were trying to prove to the world that free can be AAA. So gameplay, production values, and I think we made it. Now, free-to-play is everywhere, and literally every day you can hear, small, medium companies, big ones are announcing their entrance into free-to-play. New free-to-play games are coming out, and we are proud to be pioneers, one of the pioneers of this exciting movement. But we went further than free-to-play. We announced a couple of years ago that World of Tanks is going free to win, and this is not just a marketing slogan. Free to win means that, yeah, there is still monetization inside the game, but unlike many other games, you cannot buy your way into victory. So there is nothing in World of Tanks and our other games which you can pay money for and which makes you stronger on the battlefield. Most of our monetization methods are connected with, saving a little bit of time while you do your strategic progression. And of course, the world accepts it. Our success all around the world tells that these free-to-play and then free-to-win models, they're actually gaining ground. The most important thing about these games is community, your players, right? And if you treat them right, If your game does not, squeeze money out of them, they like it. They bring friends, they talk about it, and that's how you grow. So 5 years ago, this August, we will be celebrating 5 years of World of Tanks launch. Today, yes, we're happy to see that this is a global phenomenon. It's not just you release the game and then it has success till the end of time. You have to work hard. During these 5 years, we have released something around 50 updates to the game. We introduced new tanks, new maps, new gameplay modes. We were constantly improving, graphics, physics, and of course, we were expanding geographically. Today, we have 16 offices all around the world, and we have operational centers for this game, for World of Tanks, and for other games, pretty much all around the world, starting from Singapore and Southeast Asia, and Tokyo, and South Korea, of course, former Soviet Union countries, Europe, North America. A couple of months ago, we announced our movement into the Brazilian market. So World of Tanks is being played all around the world. Also, we expanded to different platforms because you have to go, as a company, as a gaming company, you have to go to where your players are. So we moved to Xbox 360, and we announced the development for Xbox One, which will be released sometime around this year. We moved to mobile space and World of Tanks Blitz. It's pretty much almost the same World of Tanks, just a little smaller, and you can play it on a device which is in your pocket or in your little handbag. But no matter what platform you play World of Tanks, you can notice that we pay much attention, and this is the cornerstone, this competitiveness. Right, so competitive gameplay, that's what World of Tanks is famous for, and we push this. Our latest update for PC World of Tanks 9.7, it introduces a lot of modifications, introduces new modes where normal people at the comfort of their homes can be competitive. They can choose their own level of competitiveness from small funny battles like of 3 on 3 people up to 15 on 15. And of course, the crown jewel of this competitive gameplay is esports. But esports is, something bigger and something different. This is the whole new world. Nobody knew what it was like 10 years ago, maybe those StarCraft matches which they were broadcasting in Korea. That's it. Today, esports is turning into global phenomenon. We entered esports the first global debut was 2012 at World Cyber Games in China. So that's the first time when World of Tanks was played there. But esports is a big ecosystem. You have to have partners. We started our way by partnering with ESL and Star Ladder. And in 2013, we made the next step and we announced Wargaming.net League. This is our own league. And today and tomorrow you will see the culmination of season 2014-2015, the grand finale. Our last grand finale accumulated 1.7 million unique viewers. So if you think, we're still in the beginning, but if you think about this number, 1.7 million unique viewers, that's like a small TV station or a medium-sized TV station. So we are moving, we're investing more and more into this. Of course, as I said it, and I can say it again, it's not just about us. Of course, it's about our players. Those teenagers, yesterday they were just playing games and their mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers were not very happy about this. But today, esports is giving to those people opportunity to turn their hobby into profession, to turn their enthusiasm into entrepreneurship. So those boys and girls, they can become, real heroes. And we as a company, we're doing whatever possible, whatever we can to kind of push not only World of Tanks, not only wargaming games, but spread the word about esports and how exciting it is to the whole world. So this e-sportsmen or cyber sportsmen, they deserve the right to be called real athletes. And of course, this ecosystem is not possible without partners. In our particular case, we are so happy to partner with Intel, with PaySafeCard, and with Razer. And you can see other big esports games. They literally, the sportsmen, they look like drivers, pilots from Formula One with sponsors, advertising, and everything. Yes, this is entertainment industry, and it is becoming bigger and bigger. And big companies realize that the viewership of these esports and the interest and the popularity is growing tremendously. It's on TV. There's special, YouTube channels. There's Twitch, and year by year, the numbers are growing like almost exponentially. So yes, you have to invest your time. You have to invest your people's time. You have to invest your creativity. You have to invest money. Just one example: the top 3 teams of this season will cumulatively get $850,000. The whole season, 14-15, the players, because there are many teams, the players will receive $2.5 million. And when the next season finishes, we will have invested something around $26 million in everything connected with esports. So, and of course, I have to mention, and I'm glad to mention this, we're not alone. By the way, we're not, we just started recently, and companies like Blizzard, like Valve, like Riot Games, they are also pushing esports like really very hard. And guess what? I'm happy to see their success, because their success is a good basement for our success, and I hope that our success is helping them as well. So anyway, today and tomorrow, this is our weekend. This is grand finale of Wargaming.net League World of Tanks. I very much hope that you all will enjoy what you will see. Of course, the athletes, the teams will, they probably have some work to do, because this is work for them. And spectators who will come to this area, and millions of people who will be watching this on Twitch, on YouTube, they will enjoy this event very much. We are doing our best. Thank you very much, and let me please pass the word to Mohammed Fadel. This gentleman is the leader of Wargaming's global esports. So, Mohammed?
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you everyone for coming. It's nice to see a lot of familiar faces from last year. You can see we grew a lot of things changed, we improved a lot. Esports right now, nearly everywhere. Everyone's talking about esports, hypes, big events, big companies joining, massive sponsorships happening. But what is really esports for us? It started many, many years, big time in Korea. We know that Counter-Strike, StarCraft, Dota, Warcraft, all these came into and they drove it. But it changed, especially the last few years, it got revamped. So we know where we're coming from, but to understand what is esports, it sometimes helps to look forward in the future. When we forecast what are the audience by 2017 for the global esports industry, for the players, for everyone, we're looking at a crazy number. When I said 145 million people, the audience, are interested by 2017, watching. This is a core audience, not the friends, family, just these are the hardcore guys, the audience who want to watch esports. And this, in a few years, this competes with the biggest TV shows, with NFL, with soccer, football, anything. We're getting to a point where we reach a level which is tremendous. No one really thought about this would happen like this. This is something very interesting, because you can see teams getting big sponsors, getting a lot of visibility, everyone talks about it, but what is the value for these teams? Now, if we forecast and see, okay, 2014, what could a team potentially and the industry make, and what kind of money is invested, then you see a big number of 194 million USD in 2014. By 2017, they're more than double We have 465 million USD. This is a forecast, and I personally think we will top it, far from it. This is something with money is in there. Not only for the teams, for the players, it's for partners, for sponsorships, for developers, publishers, for the content consumers at home. So this shows us a very clear vision that esports becomes a main part of daily life. Yes, some people say it's sports. It's going to be in Olympics. Yes, most likely, I believe this. It's about talent, about skill, team play, passion. It has everything you need to be a sports. But we strongly believe there's something way, way bigger than this. It's an evolution of entertainment. Esports is in the center right now. It's a driving factor. The behavior, how people consume content and entertainment is changing right now. You can see Twitch, we have some nice data just from last year behind us. Twitch had, during July, 1 month, 46 million unique viewers, summer. So normally these are numbers quite low. And these numbers are double. Each year they're getting bigger and bigger. This is a crazy number because you can see, we don't talk about kids, not like 12, 13 years old. We're talking about grown-up people. 76% of this audience is between 18 and 40 plus. So we talk about gentlemen like sitting here, families, fathers, mothers. They're starting to change their behavior. And naturally, there's a degrees of watching TV, a degrees of how they consumed entertainment in the past. So there's a very big thing, and this is something we sometimes forget when we talk about esports. Yes, it's sports, it's talent, but it's more. It will impact everyone, and this is something I strongly believe in. It's evolution of entertainment, because people will stop watching TV less and less, invest more time in gaming entertainment. And this is something we are not really aware of yet. I'm pretty sure in a few years we'll see it's totally normal. You come home from work with the family, you turn on the TV, which is like Twitch probably, or YouTube Live covered, the big events, big teams, and it's naturally for you that you go to these events, you watch them. This is something, it's a very, very big change for us. And then people ask, okay, I can see this, evolution, esports, everything, but where do you guys fit in with your esports, with World of Tanks, Wargaming.net League? And this is something I would like to point out. We grew a lot, we learned a lot, we made, as usual, some mistakes, as everyone will do, but we get up with the players and say, how can we improve it? We made some very big changes recently with a new attack mode, defense mode, which changed completely the gameplay for us in esports, completely. We could see the numbers skyrocketing of viewerships, of participant numbers. So we learned, the pro teams tested those mods, and they said, guys, we have to change this, we have to change that, and we sit down, very honest. It's not about ego, it's not about brand, it's about creating something. And this is something we are very proud of to talk about, the infrastructure 2.0. Our next step for us is to create an ecosystem within the wargaming universe, esports-wise. For this, we will create 3 levels. We have like the starting level, the bronze, silver, and gold. Like in our league-wise, we talk about this. And within 6 months, you can see a big change that you can reach from 0 to hero within 6 months, okay? It's a bit hardcore. You must be a very good team, very good player to do this, but it's possible, it's feasible. But to explain what is it by piece, let's go to the bronze league, because there you can see our bronze league is our grassroots system. It's our, like, the big audience, the casual Joe, the guy at home who just plays alone. This is a massive audience. And just to give you a number, this was not announced, it's a sneak peek, a leak, whatever. We have a Guinness Book World Record now, just established, with 103,000 players in one single tournament. Just to give you an idea, how many players are participating in a single tournament live at the same moment. So this is something, when we saw these numbers hitting us, we realized there is a massive demand within this audience. How can we help them to make the next step? There we said, okay, we need to give them a career path. We call it like this, the esports platform, internal. People start with a ladder system. Now, as Victor said, with the next patch, we have a ladder system coming in. Everyone probably knows a ladder system, ranked system from other games, where casual Joe starts to can really see where do I progress, where I am compared to other players. This is very crucial for us. We implement it now in a complete different level, a new way, which is supported by in-game mods from us, developed with the players, to help connect the talent. Because I'm at home, I play alone, and I say, okay, I'm not bad with tank destroyers or artillery, or like I'm a medium tank player, but alone I can't do anything. It's about team play. So how can I reach out to other good players to start building my career, my dream, my passion? This is where the bronze leagues come in. We allow players to make step-by-step baby steps, guide them from the first single player to founding a team, found talent, connect people. Sorry, I need to drink something. I'm talking. Delicious. The next step, the next step would be the Silver League. A Silver League is already where the teams are established, and we have some semi-pro teams. This is where most likely we'll see the top teams being stars within 6 months, a year. This is the moment where we have to empower the community, meaning empower how can they connect, how can they create their own content, how do they get followership. We help these teams already getting sponsors because this is a very crucial moment in the esports career for your team, for your ego, for everyone alone, for the individual skill that we need support. We play together, we're good, but how do we make the next step? Therefore, we have the Silver League, which Wargaming gives those teams handbooks, gives those teams connections to strong partners who look for the next superstar within the league. We give them visibility within our channels, through all our social media channels, portals, to help promote those semi-pro teams every now and then, because the audience at home, the community, the casual Joe, will say, hey, what is this team? Never heard of it, it's not in the big team, but we help them to reach this step, hopefully, successfully, but we could see in certain regions they started already, and it's a very big demand of semi-pro players who are close to catching the dream, who want to reach the next level. And with this infrastructure, most likely we get there. It's not perfect yet. We are trying to be reasonable. We will improve it over time, but we're in the right direction. And the numbers speak for itself, and the player feedback, most important, give us what we need. And the last level, which is like the most important for us, is the Gold League. As you can see, this is the Grand Finals 2015, where the top teams, the best teams in the world come together, the highest talent, skills, massive sponsorships, prize money, everything is included. This is the Gold team, the Gold League, the Gold Series. This is the dream everyone wants to reach. We were looking, how could we help those teams to sustain, because this is the hardest thing. Teams come, teams go, sponsors changes, but how can we make sure that these teams can sustain even without a product? So we have to give them an infrastructure that they can be a brand for themselves, that they don't need big publishers, developers, ongoing partnership. If they don't get it, they will fall. This is something we have to tackle. This is very crucial for the esports scene, that we help those teams to grow. Our first step now, this year we're introducing a salary. Every gold team will get a salary. It's a big amount for each region, 750,000 USD dollars per year per region. We give out to the top gold teams as salary. We will split it up. Partly it will be based on your ranking, like the better you are, the more money you get, yes, like prize money. The other, we give the teams with helping them creating content, helping creating brands around them, because it's not just helping us to pay a team, throw money at them and say, okay, here you go, have fun. We want them to get stars, to be a brand around themselves. And for this, we even give them money to say, this is how you do it, and we pay you for it to make it yourself, about you. It shouldn't be about us, it should be about your team, your league, your brand, create it. And we help them to invest and fund this. This is not cheap. As we know, it's 3 million USD per year, dollars, we invest, and this is only coming from Wargaming. This is the money Wargaming invests without any additional sponsors for these partners, for these teams. No partnerships included, no Twitch money included. So ideally, the vision is behind it. The teams will start creating streams. They will create brands around them, then partners will see it. We connect them, big partners with the big teams. They will get a sponsorship from Twitch, they get their money from Twitch, YouTube, and this will give them a massive foundation of money, like a massive budget, which they can use. Even if there's a downfall, even if there's a hard time, they should have enough money to sustain, because this is what the esports scene, I strongly believe, needs right now to make it grow. For every player around to be able, this is my job. not only a hobby, this is my job, my passion, my love. And our duty as developers, publishers, media is to give those talents, those amazing young people, the tools they need to succeed. So that's why for me it's a very big honor to welcome everyone here. We have our main sponsors, big ones. We have important sponsors like Ellingworm, Master Brand outside. Everyone is carrying their weight to make this happen. But I would say you should enjoy the show, and I would love to introduce you, and I'm very pleased and honored, to Dimitri from Intel. It's your turn. Thank you.
Okay. Mo, thanks a lot for introduction. Yes, I'm Dmitry. I manage Intel business in Russia, CIS, which is the largest market for the world of tanks. And as we do some activities, I was kindly invited to talk a bit about our contribution to esports. And I'm not going to talk about Intel. Everyone knows Intel and microprocessors. I would just say there are a few things which you may not know about Intel, because we contribute not only to microprocessor development, but we're actually at the heart of every computer. And some innovation over the last few years, which you may not know, like for example, USB, which we all use in different types of computers, has been invented by Intel, and so Intel develops consecutive generations. And just one example of our innovation in technology. When it comes to esports, for us it's a major commitment, because we want players to really enjoy the best experience which they can get from computer technology. The highest graphics, nice frames per second, it comes only with really good, fast-performing microprocessors. So what do we do in esports? Our largest commitment is so-called Intel Grandmasters. It's our Intel Extreme Masters. Just 2 weeks ago, here in Poland, in Katowice, we had our final event for the year. There are 6 global events which lead to these final events, which takes place in Katowice a second time in a row. And what happens there is that 2 weeks ago, we had there 100,000 people. Can you believe it? 100,000 people came to support their favorite teams. They watched the events, they participated in activities. And also what happened is during the same day we had 5 million video views on YouTube of this event, which shows the popularity on a global scale. But even more, in terms of getting prepared for this session, 75 million people globally actually participated in different parts of competition to make sure that they make to the finals. 75 million people, amazing amount of viewers and participants. Now, is it the only contribution? No, of course, we work with major publishers like Wargaming, again, to make sure that their software which they develop produces their best experience for end users. The best effects, the best graphics, and Victor was talking about Blitz, which is one of the new games which produced by Wargaming. And here I have a very thin, shiny tablet which runs on Intel, which runs Blitz on this tablet. Now, the trick is that this device produces over 50 frames per second, which was even a year ago unthinkable refresh rate for a high-quality graphics on a mobile device. And it comes because of the joint work of Wargaming and Intel, because we help these guys to optimize their software so users can get a better experience. So what do I expect from this event? It's a first for me. Well, actually not the first, because I've been to a couple of Igor events in Moscow together with Wargaming. But on this scale, probably the largest event ever, so I expect a lot of excitement. And I want to see people competing, winning, and a lot of passion. And so really want to wish the participants and the teams big success. And thanks to my colleagues from Wargaming for inviting me over here. Thanks very much. And I want to use the opportunity to introduce Jeff from Razer. Jeff, over to you.
Thank you. Hey, yeah, I'm Jeff from Razer. I do business development there. So it's kind of a fun job. I get to work with companies like Wargaming and see the games that they're creating, and leading up to something like this is just, it's fantastic. I've been doing this for a number of years, and I don't know, this is the second year I've come to this one, and it's going to continue to grow, I think. Esports is part of Razer's history So for me to be able to be involved in that now, we come out here, sponsor some of the teams. We make a lot of the stuff that the teams are using, the mouse, the keyboard, the headsets, you know, as well as other devices leading up to it. You know, that actually the laptops themselves, if they're traveling, they can take one of them. It's based on an Intel CPU, and you know, it's an unbelievable high quality product that just allows you to play all the best games out there. We've got software that hopefully helps support the esports growth as well. Razer Arena being one of them that we just introduced earlier this year. Basically allows for online tournaments, so not everybody can make it out here to Poland for a big event like this, but you can go online and find yourself a tournament to play. Go in there, win a little bit of money perhaps, maybe you can come out to this one next time, you know, in the off season when the grand finals aren't happening or the various seasons. Maybe a team didn't make it, they can go online and prove their skills further and continue to grow that. You know, it's definitely one of these pieces of software that we couldn't do it without working with the partners like Wargaming, even he mentioned some of the others earlier, the riots and whatnot. And I think one of the purposes behind it is we just want to see everybody have an opportunity to feel that glory, right? I don't know how many people have played World Tanks here in the press, but if you haven't, definitely jump into it as soon as you can. There's nothing like being able to jump into a game, drive a tank, and blow something up. There's lots of games you can run around with a gun and shoot something, but to see a tank blow up, it's great. Yeah, so you know, I'm definitely proud to be here, invited by Wargaming and spend some time here, get to know some of the players. I don't know if I have a whole lot else to say right now other than, you know, I'm looking forward to the matches. Probably get some local Polish food in as well, some pierogies, maybe enjoy some vodka as well. You know, probably Red Bull, I know they're here somewhere too, so I'll go see them. But yeah, I think that's going to cover it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if, now is the time for questions, if I recall right. So please, we have 2 microphones in the middle as well. If I'm right, people can just come up, ask questions for the next few minutes, hours.
Come on, there got to be some questions, crowd. You know, it's a big event, so well, yeah. Hey,
hello.
Congratulations to the first question. Yes.
Hello, I got a question to Mo. What do you think is the reason that esports in World of Tanks is so big in Russia, Ukraine, Poland, and like all the Western countries, Germany, France, are so little compared to them? What's the reason for that?
I believe it comes down to the game as well, because we have a massive audience compared to the other. In Russia, it's normal. But looking especially the last year and with the recent changes, we could see especially Germany, European countries, the European stats growing like crazy. US is, for us, compared to the player base they have, one of the strongest growing esports markets as well. So what we could see what necessary was to change the game. Our esports mode was needed to change because the players in the West were not really up to play that passively. They wanted to play very active, spontaneous, aggressive, with a lot of surprises that we could see and learned out. So I'm pretty sure, especially within the next 6 months, we could see a lot more hype, especially in the West with World of Tanks.
So you want to say that the new system was especially made for the Western community to make up for their lesser activity gameplay, or?
The funny thing is the Russian pro teams, they were the one who were driving this feedback-wise and this mode very strong, because we worked with the global teams, on global scale with top teams, they please try all different modes. What should we play? How should we change the mod? And funny thing is the top Russian teams, they came up in the end with a final mod. They said, here, this is what we should change. This makes the gameplay very dynamic, very fun. Then we asked the other teams in the West, and they said, yes, this is something which we like to play. So I think with the new mode, it's more action and more skill-based. You can see skills come out way more than before, because you just don't wait, sorry to say that, but like camp, you have to do something. And this is something I think the West, especially players, love to shine. We see some very big surprises in the last season especially, that the underdog suddenly beats the superstar, because you can see it's more their game. And with this change, we could see a big uprise in the community.
All right, thanks.
Hi there, my name is Michał Borew. I'm representing the Polish press agency. I have a question for the CEO of the Wargaming. And this is a very important question from the Polish players. When the Wargaming create Polish tank? Thank you.
But do we have Polish crew? We do. Yes, we have Polish crew.
Or a Polish branch, of course.
Well, right now I think we don't have the whole branch, but I heard, I cannot give you the exact date, but the Polish tank will be introduced quite soon. I just don't remember the exact date as a premium tank. Very soon. Very soon.
Thanks.
Hello, my name is Alexander. I'm from Serbia. I have a question for CEO Victor. We all played World of Tanks. I played World of Tanks for a long time. It's massively successful game. Do you think that World of Warships and World of Warplanes will surpass the World of Tanks? And are you planning maybe organizing similar events for those two games?
Thank you. You know, we are in entertainment industry, and those games, of course, everybody, including us, we want our games to be bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, first of all, it's not easy to develop many games one after another or at the same time. You know, usually if you look at the movies, sometimes there's one big movie from this director and the next one is coming out only 5 or 7 years. Some gaming companies also release some big hit and then stick to this franchise, and no other new games come out of those companies. So I realized, and the whole wargaming realized, that the process of creating hit games is not easy. It's not about, okay, you have a plan, you have game design, you make it, you release it, and because you're wargaming and because you have World of Tanks, your second or third game has to be a massive hit. No. We try to make, we try not to copy ourselves, that's obvious. We're trying to move, you know, to different platforms, that's, you know, Xbox, mobile. We try to move to, we move to different, okay, we completed the movement to different geographical areas, and any game, you know, people in China, in Russia, in America, in Poland, in Germany, they like playing games slightly different. So it's not an easy task to make a game which is a big hit on the global scale. So obviously, this is a long process of creation, polishing, testing, and then changing something, and then testing again, and then polishing. So we are doing it. 4,000 people are working on this every day, right? And okay, the result, this free-to-play is transparent. The result you can see. So yeah, today World of Tanks, big hit, obviously. World of Warplanes, we all understand, it's not there, right? If you compare to World of Tanks, this is a really huge difference. World of Warships, I don't know if you played beta or alphas.
I'm in closed beta, that's why I'm asking. I think that game has a huge potential, similar to World of Tanks.
Yes, thank you. So you see, it's another piece of work, it's another layer of creativity. It ships, it, you know, huge distances, big guns, long shooting range, speed, torpedoes, aircraft carriers. There's a different world. That's why we call it World of Warships. Beta is looking numbers in the beta. This testing and, you know, changing part looks really, really very good. Much better than World of Warplanes. That's for sure. But again, like in any entertainment genre, it will be only obvious 100% success or not when you release it at the end of the day. Testing is testing. Right now, World of Warships is looking really very good, so we are very positive about this game. And as you can see, Xbox and mobile also, although it's not your typical mobile game, right? But we have, what, 25 million registered users in World of Tanks Blitz, World of Tanks Xbox 360. It's a new game. Well, yes, it is using tanks and monetization style from World of Tanks, but the controller and living room experience is different. So I think our hit ratio does not look that bad, but we have more work ahead than we have done. So this is just the beginning of a really endless journey.
Thank you very much.
Hello. I'm Thomas from Pixel TV, and I would like to know if you're planning to do esports on the consoles.
As I mentioned in my in my medium-sized presentation, competitive gameplay is at the heart of any successful online game, right? So if you look by numbers, of course, people who don't join the team or don't join the clan, they're most of our millions are those people who just sit at home and play with their friends. So we're doing this, and for sure, this is very true for mobile World of Tanks Blitz and for the console as well. However, in order to have like big esports, like events and movement like the one we're going to see this weekend, like the one Riot Games has, you have to have critical mass. Don't forget, World of Tanks was released almost 5 years ago, right? And we took this time to grow the audience to today we have 100 million registrations in World of Tanks, and this gives you critical mass for these esportsmen, to be in good numbers. Like this season, we have 300,000 athletes who started 1 year ago in order to figure out the 12 best teams to come here today and tomorrow. So right now, World of Tanks Xbox does not yet have this critical mass. We will see what happens when we release our Xbox One version. So, and mobile, again, esports for mobile is even new in comparison to esports, and it's very new for us. So please give us some time. Of course, we want it to happen, right? It needs to be done right. You cannot say, hey, I want this to be esports and this happens. No, you need a lot of conditions to be met: critical mass, the quality of the game, updates, community. At the end of the day, esports is mostly driven by the players themselves. It's not us who grow them up. It's them who come up together in those professional, semi-professional teams, find their sponsors, etc., and then they present this esportsman community who play your game. So World of Tanks for the PC is big esports, yes. Other titles, we never say never, but we have to be realistic. When it happens, we will be happy to announce that, hey, this new game is entering Wargaming.net League.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sofia. So I have a question about supporting other leagues. Do you have plans to support other tournaments? So World Cyber Games was the last tournament you supported. So maybe to integrate the system, crowdfunding system like Valve made.
So we're working with WCG, now WCA together, and a lot of other very big tournaments and partners around the world. When we've made our season plan for an upcoming season for the year, we made a plan that we call them partner breaks, where we have like tournaments of other big, like WCG, WCA now, partner tournaments fitting in, integrated in our league point system. So if the teams participate, they get extra sponsorship money, get extra prize money from these big companies, I would even call them now, investors, get their prize money, and it's beneficial for them for the Wargaming League as well. So we work on a system that we integrate external big tournaments, events to support them, to help them get the visibility, give them our best teams, give them the content and assets they need to get the visibility, even if now WCA in the West, in Europe or North America, in Russia, that we work very closely to make sure that we help to establish the esports scene itself, not only the Wargaming League, even the other partners and other tournaments and investors should get their part to be able to create their own brand, create their own teams, to have a very healthy ecosystem.
Thank you.
Hello, gentlemen. It's Burak from Practice.com, Turkey. My question is, you're making lots of investments in esports, but when do you think the audience will grow as big as the TV audience? Or is it necessary to have that much audience to find, easy co-sponsors or partners for your other events and for wargaming?
Well, of course, nobody knows what future holds. We are working hard. Other companies like Riot and others, they're working hard to make it happen. So we can see the dynamic of growth. And dynamic of growth is really very, very fast. I give you one example which demonstrates it. Let's say 2 years ago, there was a small, tiny little company. I mean, it became a little more known, called Twitch. And a couple of months ago, it was purchased by Amazon for what, $1 billion? So the little startup just grew from 0 to 1 billion in just a couple of years. And Amazon, they're not stupid people. They invest money in something which they believe in, and they see the metrics and they see the numbers. So when you say, for example, today TV, that's the whole point. Esports and other kinds of streaming, and YouTube, by the way, this is new TV. Yes, right now, if you count TV screens in America, there's still more, HBO and traditional TV viewers, but with the mobile, and the latest moves from Google, so it looks like from all the direction, everything is moving to this internet TV, streaming, this esports kind of, and esports is naturally very, very suited for this kind of streaming. So it will grow no matter what. And yes, these numbers are important because this is advertising dollars. Before that, advertising dollars were, in newspapers, in paper magazines. Now more and more shifting to electronic newspapers and magazines, obvious, right? So then you have traditional TV, then you have cable TV, now you have this video on demand, and you have YouTube, you have those streaming channels, Twitch, and you name it. They're growing, as we say, like mushrooms after the rain. So the taste of the audience is obviously moving towards this way of consuming content. And esports is there, so it is happening fast. So we don't see any stop, any end of it.
Thank you.
Hello, gentlemen. Timo, Elite Magazine. You're talking a lot about the spreading of esports, and to kind of touch upon his topic as well. Do you have any plans going forward on taking World of Tanks into the more mainstream audience, which obviously is how League of Legends and things like that grew? Or do you plan on staying niche with a more hardcore audience? I mean, what's the dig? Because on the train station right now, that banner screams mainstream attention. But the game is very heavy and technical, and that might not necessarily mesh. So what's your plans going forward?
It's about making a good game at the end of the day. Guess what? World of Tanks was even more niche, as you mentioned, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And by the way, Dota, was also a relatively small mode to Warcraft, which was a niche geek RTS game in its own right. So it's about making good product. It's about making good entertainment, fantastic quality, and people will come. You cannot make, especially in free-to-play, you cannot make anyone to come and spend his or her time if the game is not enjoyable. So the fact that World of Tanks grew so fast means that we were doing something right. And we don't stop. We keep releasing updates. We keep talking to our community, what new things they would like. We developing even this old niche game, World of Tanks, non-stop with more and more efforts. And yes, people, I mean the audience, the players, will decide if they want to join. Like if I'm mass market audience, but I don't like the game, okay, it will stay niche. But if I'm mass audience and I like World of Tanks, I come and play and bring my friends. But yes, when it comes to esports, when it comes to some presentations, when it comes to E3, Gamescom, those big shows, we are in show business. We have to do the show, and a show has to have red carpet. Show has to have this press conference. Show has to have big banners. We are in entertainment business. We don't hide this. So in entertainment business, you should play along some rules.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Olga. I'm from Ukraine, and I have a question for Intel and Razer. In Eastern Europe, some high-tech brands withdraw their support from esport. What do you think of it, and maybe what are your plans, further plans?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Obviously, I'm not going to comment on other companies. I would prefer to focus on Intel. And as I've said earlier, we're fully committed to esports. Our contribution actually grows year over year, and our relationship with key publishers also grows year over year. The fact that the guys from Wargaming invited Intel over here, I think just an indication that we committed to do more and more. We can't survive with people who love getting great experience through esports, and so we fully committed to it. So no, we don't. I just don't see how we can drop this activity. We're going to expand going forward. Absolutely.
Yeah, from Razer's perspective, we just keep investing in the areas that we see. We're all gamers ourselves at the company, so we teach ourselves what we want, but also it helps to invest in the software that I mentioned earlier, things like Razer Arena. We also have Razer Comms, a voice over IP solution so that the teams can talk to each other. So we invest in the software side, but we also invest in the teams. So I think we've got about 45 different teams globally that we sponsor, something like, I think it's about 400 or 500 players as a result of that. We invest in tournaments to help support those. We run our own tournaments even. We've actually sponsored some in the Razer Singapore office. I think it was the Capcom Asia finals that we did there for Street Fighter. So it's definitely something that we continue to invest in. We have a full team of esports individuals that are represented in each region. It's because it's something that Razer really started out with. Our first product was a gaming mouse. It didn't exist before Razer. There was a mouse, but there was never this high precision one. And so that kind of really set the path for the company. And even today, I mean, our CEO, Min, he's the first person to come and say to me, hey, when are we going to be working with these guys? He's keeping abreast of all the different games that are coming out and wants to know what we can do and how we can help them. So I don't see our company pulling out anytime soon. It's definitely something that's growing. There was a question earlier about, when is it going to catch up with TV kind of a thing? Yeah. Well, I don't think that we have to wait for that. I mean, with Twitch and YouTube and these other streaming services, it's there. There's so many people sitting down watching that, and hopefully while playing a game as well. It's amazing what you can do these days, and it's not going away. Everybody's a gamer.
Mm-hmm. So. Thank you.
Hi, this is a question to the whole panel. One of the things you were mentioning over the change of esports over the last 10 years as well was how it moved away from carnival-style events, from things where you had a lot of games at tournaments were being the main factor, and now today it's things like the International Wargaming League, where it's a developer-induced sponsorship being the big event, and you have things like ESL and MLG being sort of the filler in between. In the years going forward for esports, is this still the best model from your projections, to having developers fund the major tournaments and then having these group events where you have lots of different games on show at the same time as sort of a smaller event? Or would it be better for spectators going forward to have the carnival style atmosphere as the main show?
I probably can do a very short answer. This is a new evolving industry. The rules are not yet written, right? And we are writing the rules. Riot is writing the rules. Valve is writing the rules. And this is economy. This is business. It's not planned. I mean, the rules are not dictated from the government or from the party. You understand? This is a free market economy in its literal sense. So even if you take Dota-style games, Dota 2 and League of Legends, yes, they're doing kind of different esports approaches. They have their pluses and minuses. I guess they're competing and studying each other. We're studying them. So it's very early, and I think new business models or combinations of hybrid models will happen in the future. This is very early, very new. That's why this is so exciting. So we will be creative on this organizational thing. Okay, this year we do it like this. Good. Next year we will see. It's the whole 12 months ahead of us. And other companies, they're also evolving, like on all of this. So there is no one yes or no answer. we have something like 50 people in wargaming doing esports, the events and analysis and running all these things. And they also have some analytical skills, I suppose, watching what's happening, analyzing the results of these events, seeing what other companies do. So we're a creative company. I think we will be creative on the esports as well. This year, Wargaming.net League is very different in a good way from last year, which is a good sign. Next year, I'm 100% sure will be more exciting than what you are going to see today. So this is a long journey.
Just on this one, just so that you know that, as Victor said, we try to create an ecosystem within our esports league, with our esports world, meaning there are different layers. You need ESL, you need partners like this who run a lot of events or a lot of tournaments, different games. There's then the community-driven e-tournaments. So what we have to establish right now that we help those teams to create brands around themselves. So no matter what, they can sustain and be, even without big publishers, even without big developers. There's something, ideally, we have a real ecosystem which have each point. Each point is important for it to function. We here right now, and our point, we do what we can to grow this scene overall. Then the next step would be that the teams sustain themselves. Then partners like ESL run the tournament. So every piece is crucial at this moment to make the next step.
Yeah, I would add that from Intel perspective, we see amazing growth in this business. Our e-league is called the Intel Extreme Masters, and the event in Katowice showed us that at least there is, judging by different indicators, there is at least 30% growth, either from number of participants or number of views, etc., year over year. 30% growth. It's just amazing. So I'm kind of with Moore and with Victor. It's a very dynamic industry. I don't think anyone can prescribe the rules. And as long as you deliver a great product and exciting experience for the players, so they really get excited with the opportunity, I think there will be different kind of arrangements of how esports move forward. I don't think it's possible to predict now what's going to happen in several years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to add on to what these guys have said. It's pretty much nailing it. I mean, the developers absolutely have to be involved in order for this to grow, right? Paying attention to the broadcasts they do this weekend and see what they can improve on next time. When it comes to a larger event having multiple different games at it, that's certainly a spectacle, right? Things like the Olympics where you've got a lot of different activities going on. So comparing the two, it's kind of tough. Each individual sport and each developer or smaller leagues that might be local, those are what's going to feed into a larger event at some point that will have all that. I mean, I see that down the road. As I said, we don't know when that's going to happen. It's going to take a lot of investment from the developer to really push their game out there, get the fans on it, and build up the player base. And that's going to happen at each one of the developers that's making one of these games. And then somebody's going to see that and say, hey, I can make a whole big spectacle of this, or even maybe a longer running season. There have been a few that have tried, but maybe it was too soon. We're going to figure it out. Who knows when it's going to happen, but we're going to keep trying.
Thank you all.
So last question, right? Yes.
Hello, Hubert Kuberski, Historical Magazine, Century Says. My friends, colleagues, journalist colleagues ask for Polish tanks in wargaming, but I would like ask for the first time of Tank War 4, because I'm enthusiast, not like all players. I am enthusiast of first tanks, especially, for example, Renault FT-17, or for example, these first tanks, these small tanks, tankettes, Carden Lloyds, for example. I would like ask for these small tankies, which have, for example, only machine guns without artillery. I would like ask for armored cars. This is fantastic story, fantastic ways. I would like ask for armored trains. And for example, when I read about history, first Polish units which used Renault FT-17, it was fantastic story about fighting against Cossacks. Soviet Cossacks. It was fantastic when these small tanks firing by the cavalry with machine guns. It will be fantastic idea. My magazine can propose, for example, historical background. We are cooperate with yours Polish office, and we are historians. We have materials, information, and we can ask for this first time. Not Pantera, not Tigers. I know many people like these Panzer monsters, but very smaller people like these small tanks, tankettes, like for example Carden Lloyd's, Polish TKS, or for example Polish light tanks 70P. Fantastic subjects for your decision.
I'll be quick. The thing is that, of course, when it comes to history, we support it. You maybe know that we support museums, we make some donations, we help to restore vehicles and do a lot of things, especially this 70 years of great victory. We're doing a lot of things. However, when it comes to the game, you have to define your scope and you have to focus in this scope. So we very deliberately stopped after World War II, because modern tanks, you also could ask for modern tanks, but that's another story. And the earlier tanks, you mentioned it in your question, they did not have artillery in its tanks, and they had machine guns. Machine guns you use for killing people. And we said to ourselves, a gaming company, in World of Tanks, you don't kill people. So we started from the machines which, destroy each other as vehicles. No people killing, no machine guns. So in World of Tanks, if you put those tankettes, they make no sense because they have nothing to do. That's a very simple answer.
But some armored trains or armored cars have artillery. For example, Soviet BA-6,
Again,
BA-10.
you understand, armored trains
I know.
is a different type of vehicle because it runs on the rails, it's slow, it does not maneuver. Let's not forget the game has to be fun. For example, esports. Do you imagine? Can anyone imagine esports battle between armored trains?
Could be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Polish armor trains fighting in German 4th Panzer Division at the Battle of Mokra, 1939.
No, we understand
and won with tanks.
Historically, that was happening, but for the computer game, again, you have to have focus of things moving fast and action is happening. It's an action game, and it's a competitive game, and it's esports game. It's the same. I think turtles, they also do some race during their evolution and biological development, but nobody's watching turtle race, because they're slow. Okay. So horse races or camel races, I can see that. That's what people watch. But turtles, they do race. They have to. But it's very slow. People don't watch it. So we did the focus, as I said, 1939, 1937. And 1945, 47, up to 60s when, the last World War II style tanks. That's our game. Will we do it in the future with earlier tanks and later tanks? That's another story. Right now, we're not discussing this.
Last.
Let's, the players outside, the crowd is going crazy. We have to stop here. We could talk one by one just off the stage, but the players, they will run in and destroy us otherwise.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone.
For the great questions.